Hi, everybody. Welcome to Pivot and Profit with Priscilla. I've learned a lot about certifications, and certifications have helped me stand out in the government space. So certifications are basically, they're identifiers that you can use to set your business apart from other businesses, to basically tell the government, hey, I'm a minority in this space and I deserve to get contracts as well. So one of my certifications is that I'm a woman-owned business. So being a woman-owned business, there are actually contracts that are set aside specifically for women. The government has an issue right now of not giving enough contracts to women, to veterans, to minorities. So one of their initiatives is to give more of those contracts to people with those certifications. I apply for my own certifications. There are organizations that will help you apply for your certifications. Many of them charge between $400 to $500. It's free if you do it yourself. However, it is a lot of paperwork. It can be complicated at times, but you can get through it. So I got my economically disadvantaged woman-owned small business certification. That's EDWOSB. I have my service-disabled veteran-owned small business certification because I am a veteran and I do have a disability rating. Now, if you don't have a disability rating, you can get your VOSB, veteran-owned small business certification.
Now, everybody thinking you buy a laundromat, you got machines in there. Machines need maintenance. So if you were to get a maintenance person to come in here and do it, they're going to charge you at least probably $50 an hour to work on machines, dryers and washers and whatnot that you have in there. Because I have a maintenance background, I perform on the maintenance.
All of the maintenance.
All of the maintenance. Everything. The plumbing, the electrical, the video cameras, everything. The installation of things, I did it. When it came to the maintenance part, it's a headache. You got to stay on top of it. It's something that you had to do. Like I say, you have to be in there every other day. Like maybe if it's 7 days a week, you need to be in there at least, 3 times a week. You need to be checking the machines. Need to make sure, that they were working right. And I constantly was checking on, and they break down as people are using the machines. I had a customer come in there and basically a lady every other month, she would wash rugs with cat litter that was on there. And I would literally have to undo the cat litter out of the drain lines. And it was just a headache. If it wasn't that, it was, I hate to say it, ladies, the wire, the bra wire, the bra wire, and it gets stuck in the valve. So
Sex toys.
Oh, it was, yes, sex toys
Stuck in the drain.
stuck in the drain.
Over soaping.
And that was the biggest thing. Oh, a lot of soap.
Our people like to use a
A
lot.
lot of soap, and I mean like
See
by
the
the
suds.
island.
We need to see the suds.
Yes, they need to see subs. If it wasn't that, it was the dryers. Some of the dryers started to seize up, the bearings inside the actual dryer. It wasn't that, it was the plumbing. We had 2 floods in the place due to the fact that the previous owner, did take care of, there is let me say this, in the cab, there's an ordinance where you have to have all the water that's being discharged from the washers have to go into this basin. And it's like they call it like a sandbox. It's basically where a settlement tank. So before it goes to the main sewer, it has to go into a sediment tank, and all the lint and the dirt and stuff settles in there, and then the water will go into the sewer. That thing had a discharge, but the pipe was rusted, And I didn't know it until I actually cleaned it out one day and saw it. And it was like, oh my God. And then I got a plumber in there. The plumber is talking about, he gave me 3 options. He says, I can do this and it costs $14,000. I can do this and it can cost $20,000. Or I can do this and run a new line all the way from the laundromat out to the street, and that's gonna cost you like 30 grand.
Therapy has not just gotten me through my personal life, it has gotten me through business because I have experienced some of the biggest disappointments in business that I've ever experienced in my life. It's one thing to have somebody else disappoint you, it's another thing to disappoint yourself.
Mm-mm. Ooh. That is true. that is true, because sometimes it does feel like, not sometimes, you will sometimes drop the ball.
Mhm.
And you can't be upset with anybody else but yourself. And I swear for God, being upset with yourself is annoying because there's really not, you can't really do anything about it.
You're just mad
You're
all
just
inside.
mad on the inside. Like, at least when you're upset with somebody, you can yell about it. You could call people and vent about it.
Mhm.
Have you ever tried to vent to somebody about being mad at yourself? They're looking at you like, I mean, okay. Well, like, what was that about? You're like, I don't know.
And then being a person of accountability, I am big on accountability. So not only am I upset at myself, but I'm like, yeah, I just did it. I suck. Like,
I'm horrible at life, and I don't know why anybody trusts me with anything. Like, because clearly I'm inadequate, and like I just make bad decisions, and I shouldn't be trusted. I get it. Because I've had many of those moments of like, I'm slow. I thought I was smart, and I'm not.
I really thought I was good at this.
We all have those moments of just like, I should just go get a job.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, the fascinating thing is the amount of times that I've looked for a job, even when my business is doing well, because I'm like, I'm tired, or decision fatigue. And I want to talk to you about that because I don't feel like we talk about that enough. And I love that you brought up the fact that with entrepreneurs, we do suffer from depression and all these things. But I honestly think it comes down to having so many things to do in just one day. And decision fatigue, for those who may not be like very familiar, I feel like the first time I heard it, I was like, huh, is honestly just like being tired from all the decisions you have to make in a day. And, some days I wish I could just have a day where somebody just tells me all the things I need to do. And I just go do that. And then that's it. I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm like carried it. I've gone too far. Because I'm like, and then I'm carried into bed after because I don't want to do anything else. But decision fatigue is where it's just like, you are literally tired of making decisions.
And the moment you start making money, don't think, hey, I need to look like I make money. Because what is looking like you make money look like? So they're millionaires walking amongst us every day, and they look like regular people. They may not have on the latest fashions or the most expensive jewelry, but they're set for life. They're creating generational wealth. And that word has become so cliche, but it's true. And if that's what you want to do with your business, if you want to set yourself up and your children's children up for a successful future, sacrifices will have to be made, and you have to be willing to make them. And just because you have the money doesn't mean that you need to spend the money. The purpose of the set aside were to give, because there are also small business set asides where you have to make under a certain amount of money in order to apply for the contract. So the purpose of set asides was to give the minority owned, the woman owned, the veteran owned, the small business the opportunity to bid on the contract. Because
to make it equal.
What we see in the contract world is, so say we see a contract for laundry and we're doing our pricing and we're saying, okay, it's going to cost us this much because we're a small business. We sometimes have to pay a higher rate to employees, and some of our costs are higher. So if there is a large industrial launderer, they may be able to launder that same quantity for a lot less.
Like 50 cents.
Because they can either take a loss on this contract because they're going to make it up on another contract, or they can just batch it in such large bulks, or use larger machinery than we can afford.
And they have the equipment. The thing about it is that they have the larger companies have invested into.
They have the money.
Huh?
They have the money.
They have the
Buy the
money. They
bigger,
they 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 invested it in the water. So they
they get better
cycle
water rates.
everything. And so when it comes to going up against that the giants, it's just like they're more cost effective.
Yeah.
That's just basically what it comes down to. And when you're a small business, you're not in there with a cost effective type of plan. Like you're small, you're trying to learn, you're trying to grow your business. So maybe you can come to a medium size or a larger company to do the same thing. But it just prices us out. It's
The government's always going to go for the lowest bid.
lowest bid, pretty much.
And we miss out a lot of times because we can't bid that low. We're not able to afford. We'd be out of business. We'd be working for nothing. I've heard of people bidding on contracts and losing money because once you bid on that contract and you
You,
win that contract,
you gotta
you're stuck
honor
with
it.
that price
Yep.
for multiple years. And if you forfeit on that contract, now you have a government report card that basically says you didn't fulfill your obligations. So set asides were meant to allow small people to compete with small people,
With big business.
small business. Because if you have to continue to pour into the people around you, you won't have anything to pour into yourself. You have nothing left to give yourself to become the person you're trying to be. So I'm big on energy now. I have often been the person to pour into my friends and their relationships and, girl, you too good for this. And you can do better than that. And, oh, you want to do a business? I can help you with that. And you're going to be great at it. And, oh, I see how you can do this with your life and you can do that. And let me help you research this and that. And that's great. But I have 4 kids. I have a husband. I have 2 businesses. I have humans that I have to pour into by default, by design. So I don't have all of that to pour into other adults. I can extend my friendship, but I have to set boundaries. I can extend my advice, but I have to understand that if you're not able or willing to receive it, nothing's going to change in your life. So I can reserve that energy for myself. So when it comes to putting things on the line, I have had to put a lot of those ships on the line. And I've had to place them in categories in my life that may seem distant to those people. But for me, it's given me the ability to preserve and reserve what I need to build my empire and continue building those semi adults I have in my house because they require a lot. And so does my marriage, and so does my business. And I'm okay with that. There's going to be a lot of people in your life that aren't going to be okay with that. And that's okay.